You're listening to Thunder and Lightning on SuperTalk Mississippi, covering Mississippi State sports like nobody else. With Sports Talk Mississippi's Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk of On3 Sports. Now get ready for Thunder and Lightning.
This is Thunder and Lightning here on Super Talk Mississippi. Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk here with you on a really cold Monday morning. Thanks for joining us here at supertalk.fm or wherever it is that you get podcasts from. We appreciate you guys out there, our great listeners, especially our servicemen and women out there taking care of us. We want to thank our sponsors over at Strange Brew Coffee House and Churn and Spoon Ice Cream. Start your day the right way with a trip to the drive-thru over at Strange Brew Coffee House here in Starkville or at Brupolo over in Tupelo. This might be the closest one, all right? But it would still be a little weird if Brupolo was in Olo.
That would be a little weird.
But we could Bruolo.
Barolo. Which reminds me of the Rolos, the candy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little something here.
You just stack those and like squeeze them down into sandwiches.
Here's what you do. Listen, just follow along here.
Mm-hmm.
Get you some Ritz crackers. Put them on a sheet.
I've done this.
Put a Rolo on top.
Mm-hmm.
In the oven for not long. Not long. You just want them a little soft up a little bit. Then you sandwich that with another Ritz. Oh yeah.
I've had something similar to that. And they also do these things during Christmas. It's like reindeer or something where they put the Rolo on the pretzel, on a pretzel.
Yes.
Like the pretzel, I think, is maybe the antlers or something like that.
Yeah, no, I know where you're going.
I've had those before too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just the simple goodness.
Rolo is not a
underrated,
and it's not a candy bar. It's like
it's a candy.
It's like M&Ms.
Yes. The problem with Rolo is very simple. They're individually wrapped.
They are.
Nobody wants to go through all that trouble. If there's a sleeve of Rolos, and it was just in there.
There is a sleeve of Rolos. They made a sleeve of Rolos. It was like Sweet Tarts.
Okay.
And like they're just all stacked.
Okay, I don't know. I can live with that.
I don't know if there's still like that. I'm not sure.
If I could just get a bag of Rolos that I didn't have to unwrap them all.
It's a very underrated candy.
It is very good.
You got caramel and chocolate. Nothing can go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Yeah.
No.
Good stuff. Wherever you are in our great state, if you'd like
can we get a Rolo ice cream at Churn and Spoon?
Chocolate ice cream with like a caramel core.
Here's what I want. You know they put the coffee bean thing, the little chocolate.
So, a Rolo.
My wife loves those things. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with Strange Brew. I know this is a thing at a lot of coffee shops.
They all suck though.
Can I ask the Rolo? Can I ask for a Rolo on top of my like Strange Brew hot chocolate, or a Rolo on top of my albino squirrel? Is that too much to ask, Shane? Is it too much to ask for maybe a Rolo?
You want a Rolo?
Or could you just put a whole Reese's cup?
I mean, these are not bad ideas.
Just give me a Reese's cup on top of my coffee. I'm not asking for much.
I don't feel like you are. I really don't.
Maybe you might have to go to the smaller Reese's cups, but
the little minis, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to put a
Butterfinger BB. Can we have that? They even make
They
those.
don't make those anymore.
I feel like we could easily make a Butterfinger BB though. Just melt it down a little bit and roll it up.
I just put a text into our tweet into our group text that it blew my mind. I hope it blows yours too. Okay. I can't wait for John to see it. I cannot wait. I want a live reaction.
Oh. Wow.
I mean, what?
If you would have given me 10 guesses, if you would have guessed,
oh, you already get in?
Okay, we might as well just tell people it's the tweet about Amari Stoudemire.
Hold on, because yeah.
Amari Stoudemire is now turned into an Orthodox Jew.
He's a regular Jew. He went all the way. Our Orthodox Jew.
And so John Sokoloff, who is also Jewish.
Yeah.
He's a tribe
member.
That is a great bit, by the way, with John. The stuff we've gotten off of that.
Yeah, we got a lot of mileage.
And playing into that is my dad.
It's into this. And hasn't done anything.
Hey,
yet.
It's fine. My dad,
biggest game of the season, no problem. We'll just talk all this other stuff.
My dad is a preacher, Baptist preacher, but he tells John he has Jewish blood.
Yeah.
Because technically we do. We came from the Jewish people in
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
And my dad tells John he's like an eighth, or no, he's a 16th.
16th.
Yeah. John, you and I, we could be related.
Every
I'm a 16th.
There you go.
John's like 50% or something.
StrangeBrewCoffeehouse.com.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
We just got through Strange Brew. That's
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that guy G762224,
He's gonna be mad.
he's gonna be really mad.
Some guy.
This is our show. We could do it every day.
You're not wrong. Some guy texted the Sports Talk text line. Was like, I was listening to the Rumblings podcast the other day, and I turned it off when Hadad started talking about how he eats his Skittles. Like, who cares? And I just said, it was a mailbag. Person who asked the question cared. They asked about food, crazy food things. He was like, just give me a break. I want to hear about MSU sports. I'm like, well, then you ask a question.
About MSU sports.
It's
literally the only day where we devote.
Well, today's not off to a great start, but
I think it's off to a great start.
The Mississippi Beef Council wants to remind you that beef, it is what's for dinner. I'll be honest with you. I'll be really honest with you. If it's going to be this cold, don't go outside. Don't somebody else cook it for you. Just go to a steakhouse.
Go to a restaurant.
Go to a restaurant and order a steak. Do not go out. It is cold.
It's really cold.
Today, I was like, I'm going to go for a walk. 31. Okay, I was like, 31's cold, but it's not that bad. Feels like 15. Crap. So I had a layer. It was, the wind would just cut right through you. Order a steak this weekend. Go to one of our great steakhouses around the state of Mississippi. Every town in this state has one. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Thanks to our friends, the Mississippi Beef Council. College Corner, collegecornerstore.com. You might need a new Mississippi State jacket. You might need one. You like that one I was rocking today, though, didn't you? That old school jacket.
That was awesome.
Interlocking with the
not
Nike logo.
You could get that sold on eBay for a good price.
I love it though.
But no, you can't get rid of it. That is solid gold, buddy.
I was fantastic. Okay? I thought it was fantastic. I don't think you can't get that at College Corner. That's vintage. But you can get all sorts of other great gear at College Corner. So check them out. 2 locations in the Jackson area. Original by Fleet Feet, Flow by the Half Shell, or you can shop online, collegecornerstore.com. Restaurant Tyler, Starkville's flagship restaurant. Lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch, best meal in town, always at Restaurant Tyler. And Robbie and I kept our promise to go eat at Restaurant Tyler, and we did it. And we're probably going to do it again very soon. And you should too. Anytime you're going to be in Starkville, if you want to have a great meal, you need to go to Restaurant Tyler. Priority One Bank, 16 locations to serve you throughout central Mississippi. Let PriorityOneBank.com be your guide and show you not only where they're located, but how they're going to help you invest, manage your money, and prepare for the future. It's a new day here in America as we start a new presidency. If you want to talk about your money, you shouldn't have to wait around, all right? You should be able to get on the phone with somebody who you know, who you have a relationship with. You can do that with Priority One Bank. That's the level of service they're going to give you each and every day. Let Priority One Bank make you their priority. So finally, after all of that nonsense, goodness gracious, a lot going on there.
Enjoyed that.
I did enjoy it. It was enjoyable.
People are going to complain about it, but who cares? Do whatever we want.
That's right. Whatever. I do what I want. Yeah.
My chicken
Robbie.
pie.
You've been a bad kitty.
No, I'm kidding.
My cheesy piece. I want to ask a question to start us off. Men's basketball. Only taking into account men's basketball. Because if you say basketball and you mean the women, it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see the greatest play in Mississippi State history?
It's one of the greatest sequences I've ever witnessed. I don't even think that's hyperbole.
I'm talking about athleticism.
Everything.
I'm talking about decision-making, basketball IQ, clutch. I've never seen. If you've missed it, if you've been on the rock.
They didn't dribble, did they? In that whole
I think
one dribble.
I think it was
Josh
one dribble.
Josh Hubbard dribble.
And also, all 5 players on the floor touched the ball.
Yes.
You've got the block.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn gets the rebound. Outlets to Hubbard. I think Hubbard takes a dribble.
Then
he lobs it up to Matthews. So much has been on the block, and there absolutely should be. That block is an unbelievable play, and another, if ever you want to be a coach and be like, this is why you don't ever give up, You got another one for the highlight reel. Cam Matthews realizing that I don't think I can slam this. I'm too far away. But he sees Kugel, and Kugel has the presence of mind to stay locked. Because think about you or me, right? I see that ball go up to Matthews. I'm done. I'm like, he's going to dunk that. I'm turning around. I'm celebrating with the crowd, right? Kugel stays locked in and anticipates the pass to catch it and shoot it. I don't know that we have ever seen a play like that at Mississippi at the Hump. Not that I can remember.
And it almost needed to happen that way.
It's a 5-point swing in a game that you won by 3.
It really
By the way, Mississippi State beats Ole Miss in overtime, 84-81. A game State led the entire regulation. Ole Miss doesn't have its first lead until the first play of overtime. State
40 minutes. Mississippi State had the lead in this game.
Yes,
40 minutes out of 45.
And then at the end, they had the lead when it mattered the most. The play that we're discussing, if you missed it again, State misses a shot. There's a scramble at midcourt. Ole Miss comes away with it. They outlet it to Morrell. And Beard addressed this in his post-game comments that he thought that Morrell, maybe his health, he didn't go to dunk it. He tried to lay it in, and laying it in allowed Melendez to get a piece of it. It lands in Keyshawn Murphy's hands. And as I said, he outlets it to Hubbard. Hubbard goes alley-oop to Matthews. Matthews, in the moment, that's still the play that I can't get. The block, I've seen chase down blocks before, right? Winsome Frazier and Timmy Bowers used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's a great play. Don't get me wrong. It's a great play. Matthews making that pass, I cannot wrap my head around him in that moment thinking, I've got a pass here. Like everybody else thinking he's going to put that behind his head and he's going to slam it home. And he kicks it out to Kugel. And you see, I hate to play the what-if game, but if Kugel doesn't get hurt against Kentucky, they probably easily win.
I think they win that game.
He's starting to figure things out in a very big way.
I don't think he impacts as much the Auburn game.
It's probably closer. Yeah. But my goodness, first off, if I always say it's like there's not a lot of neutral observers listening to this podcast. But if you were a neutral observer watching that game, you were treated. It was a fantastic college basketball game. I give Ole Miss a ton of credit. I thought they played outside of their comfort zone. They are not the most physical team in the world, but they played very physical in this game. But State did a great job of neutralizing Malik Dia. Padula got his points. Morrell got some points. But
Brakefield had a
good
lead. I don't remember.
He just kept making shots.
He's just like killing it, and he had 20 points.
He had 20 points. But Dia, who had been their leading scorer in conference play, State was able to neutralize him. And State gets a big night from Kugel, a big night from Keyshawn Murphy, a double-double from Keyshawn, a double-double from Cam Matthews, and Hubbard, again in double figure, like you talked about on Friday, that even when his shot's not falling, he's getting to the free throw line and he's finding some points. We'll talk about Hubbard a little bit more. It was a great college basketball game. Kind of what I want to go back to what I said about when State played, I forget who it was. It may have been South Carolina. I didn't think State played its best game.
Not at all.
And yet they still were able to win against a ranked team in that environment. That was a fantastic college basketball game and a really fun watch, and State gets the win.
Right now, State's just kind of, I feel like, just surviving.
I haven't checked the net today.
Ole Miss actually moved up in the net when they lost. So
wow.
I don't understand that. But
so they are they moved up from 16th to 13th, and State moved up from 18th to 16th. That's kind of weird. I won't lie.
It is a little weird.
Maybe
but they're just giving them a lot of credit for keeping it close on the road.
Did something happen with one of their other games with Ole Miss? Because they're suddenly 5-3.
Well, Alabama
beating Kentucky probably helped them a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be a monster win for them all year long because they won by 10 points on the road against somebody that's probably going to be a top 5 net team.
Yeah, Alabama currently 7th.
Yeah, they're probably going to
move on up.
Yeah, so I just don't think State's playing great right now. I think they're playing tough. I think against Kentucky, I didn't think they played well. I thought they played tough. I thought they battled. I thought they fought. They were able to get a string of 3-point shots to keep them in the game. And this one, I didn't think they played smart. I think back at me and you talked about this. As good as Cam was in overtime, he had a play that was, quite frankly, it was boneheaded. there towards the end of regulation. State had, I think, maybe they were up by 2 or 3, and you get a rebound or a turnover, whatever it was. Cam chunks it like a quarter.
That was a low basketball IQ play.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. You had a chance to run off about
25 seconds,
and get it down to about a minute. And if you score, you're up 2 possessions with a minute left. Instead, you turn the ball over, you give the ball back to Ole Miss. That was not a smart play. And then Sean Jones, the flagrant that he had, you gave Ole Miss points plus the ball with a chance to tie the game to win it, or tie the game to second overtime. So State just didn't play smart basketball in this game. But I would rather win the game, obviously, and come back and say there's so much you can be better at, because this team is not playing well, and they're sitting here at 3-2 in the league after playing, 3 top 10 teams in the last. Somebody just show up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who. Go ahead though.
Okay, so anyway, so
what's going on?
I don't know. It wasn't Mississippi State's best game, but they beat a top 25 team that's going to be a quad 1 team most of the way.
Yeah,
I feel like, and this is their 3rd top 25 win.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I think 4 would be the school record, maybe. So they have a chance to have the most top 25 wins this year than they've ever had in school history, and I still don't think they're close to playing their best basketball. So that is very good news if you're a Mississippi State fan, is this team is not even close to hitting its peak, and they're scratching and clawing and figuring things out. They're going to be a much tougher team mentally by the end of this, and hopefully, whenever you get into March, Josh Hubbard is lighting it up, because right now 2 for 13, he had a big 3-pointer midway through the second half or so.
Yeah,
that I think he desperately needed, but he's just
we
3 turnovers.
All at that point right now when Hubbard hits a shot, we're all like, okay, here we go. He's gonna start, and then it just doesn't happen.
I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't.
I think more than anything else, Robbie, it is Hubbard needs to not have the ball in his hands until he's ready to shoot. All right, he needs to be running off of screens and trying to get open. Instead, he's having to run that offense, and
they tried to take the ball out of his hands and let Cam run it, Kugel sometimes. They're trying to force that. They're trying to get him off the ball to create those opportunities, but we're just not seeing him play at his best right now. And
what I like
still a lot of time to go.
Yeah, what I like the most about State right now, they have more wins quad 1, quad 2 than they have quad 3, quad 4. They're just playing. They're 8-3 quad 1, quad 2. They're 7-0 quad 1, quad 3, quad 4.
There are no anchors on this resume right now.
They obviously have quad 1 later this week when they take on Tennessee. They're the number 4 team in the country. It's a true road game. Number 4 team in terms of net. That's a true road game. That will, if you get a win there somehow, that'll be quad 1 through the end. They play at South Carolina on Saturday. I think that's quad 2. Let me double check that. They are currently 91 in the net. Are the Gamecocks?
Yeah, that'll be quad 2.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, quad away. Yeah, 76-135. So that'll be quad 2 all year too. So if you get a quad 2 win is still a good thing on your resume.
And it's a road win.
And that's really it for State. I mean, outside of LSU currently 69th.
Nice.
In the net. So that game's at home, so that's going to end up being a quad 2 game as well. So, but other than that, I mean, State's schedule is set up that if they win games, they will easily be a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
At 10 wins, if they go 10-8 in conference, they will be a top 5 seed.
They'll probably be a 3 or 4.
Yeah. If they can get to 12 somehow,
you're a 2.
You're probably a 2 seed.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Easy. You're top 5 seed if I think 9 to 10 wins, you're definitely top 5.
Yeah.
The resume is going to be too strong. You're not, like I said, there's no anchors on this resume, and it's going to be tough to find them. There's not going to be a whole lot of quad 3, quad 4 games.
There aren't anymore. No.
You look at
what's Arkansas currently?
but that's going to be on. They're going to have to. They're going to have to fall in the.
A lot going on there. What's happened?
They're going to have to fall in the hundreds for that one to be bad, and I don't think
Arkansas is currently 56, and that's a road game. So they would have to drop another 19.
That might end up being a quad 2, but
there's a good chance with Arkansas that they're in the bottom 7 after they're lower than 75 wins because that's the last game of the season.
But it'll still be just a quad 2.
Quad 2, yeah.
And Missouri is getting better, so that's not going to be their net.
Missouri is
what's their net now?
24th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So next week that's going to be a quad 1 game. Now I don't know if it'll stay that.
Mm-hmm.
They are significantly better than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'll stay top 25.
Yeah.
But still, no chance that falls to quad 3. So the quad 3 opportunities are just not going to be there. This is going to be quad 1, quad 2. Every single game is going to boost your resume. So this is another huge win. It's quad 1, like we said, and most importantly, it gets you closer and closer to locking up NCAA tournament, in which I'm not really concerned about the NCAA tournament portion of it as much as I am the seeding and where state falls. So you're just boosting your resume with every win. That's what I've talked about since the start of SEC play. Every single SEC win is going to feel huge. It's not like a couple of years ago, I guess it was COVID, State was like a top 4 seed in the SEC tournament, and we didn't know if they were going to get it in the NCAA tournament.
That was the year they didn't end up making the tournament because they canceled the tournament.
If they're a top 4 seed this year, which is going to be tough,
they're 2 seed.
That's a 2 or 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. That's where you are. So I'm not concerned. They're going to have to really tank, and I just don't see it for them to not make the tournament. Now it's about boosting your resume as much as you can, and I think there's a lot of winnable games later on in the schedule. But here's another tough stretch here. Mm-hmm. Tennessee and Alabama sandwiched around a road trip at South Carolina, and South Carolina took Auburn to the wire last week. So
you got to beat South Carolina.
You got to win it.
So the other 2 games, if you can split, it doesn't matter which one you win.
If you win 1 out of 2,
you're
in great position.
You're fine. You're in great shape. Absolutely great. Once you get past this
5 and
stretch
3
here, you still have trips to Tuscaloosa. You still have to go to Oxford. Mm-hmm. But the schedule is noticeably easier. You still have a home game with Florida, but it's a home game.
You got A&M at home, I believe, right?
Yes, you do, and that's a home game.
That's
quad
huge
1.
to have that at home.
That's quad 1. Right
Texas is at home.
Yes. Texas is a quad 2 game.
Oklahoma is on the road.
They are falling though,
and they're not very good. Now they ended up winning big over South Carolina, but
it's South Carolina at this point.
Yeah. So the schedule is. We talk about how tough the schedule is, but there are winnable games in there too for Mississippi State, and they need to take when there are winnable opportunities, they got to win them.
Yeah.
When they're at home, you really need to win them.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at Florida and Alabama at home. Mm-hmm. You need to take one of those 2.
Let's talk about.
And
Kugel.
you really need to win both of them. But
let's talk about Kugel for a second. He had a real stinker against Vanderbilt.
He did
really bad in that game.
Probably one of the worst games of his career anywhere.
But Memphis, South Carolina, he had 8 points in very limited time. I mean, he was well on his way to 24.
He was going to go off against Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. And then
that's a team.
Ole Miss.
That's a good matchup for him. Yeah. He wants to get in a shootout.
Yeah. And then this game against Ole Miss, 21 points on Saturday, hit some clutch free throws, and of course had that big 3. Had 4 threes in the game. He's become the guy that has sort of filled the void now with Hubbard struggling. I feel like Hubbard is. Maybe I'm just projecting because Hubbard has been good in the past, and I'm just thinking, okay, he'll figure it out. Maybe he doesn't. As long as Hubbard is getting 12, 13 points a game, it doesn't matter.
And not shooting you out of it.
Yeah. If he's missed, he was 2 for 13. If he's 2 for 20, that's an issue.
Right. I don't look at any games and I'm saying, Josh Hubbard lost them the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that'll probably tell you that he did against Kentucky, but State scored 90.
Yeah, he's not the reason they lost that game.
Yeah. So I can't really blame. I think State's finding ways to win without him being a superstar. Mm-hmm. He's not a superstar right now. He's not playing like one. But it's just hard to imagine, as hard as he works, as balanced as he is mentally, it's hard to imagine this being a long-term deal. I understand the frustrations with him from fans that he's not finding it right now. But this is a dude that's just not going to be outworked. He lives in the gym. His life is essentially basketball right now. And so it really is hard to believe that he won't be able to pull out of this at some point. It's no different. If you're a shooter, Steph Curry has gone through slumps like this.
Yeah.
If you're a shooter, you're going to miss a lot of shots. You're going to miss a lot of them. It just comes with the territory. The true shooters, the great shooters of all time, they don't dwell on this. It's just like somebody that goes in a slump offensively, at the plate in baseball. Everybody goes through those unless you're, Tony Gwynn and Ted Williams.
Yeah.
You go through those moments. It's how you react to it. If you get down on yourself, if you let it snowball, it's going to get worse and worse. But if you just continue to come to work every day, you come into the ball game, you have the same mindset every game, it's going to get
You need to be a
fixed.
coach.
I could do it. I could do that.
Yeah. Big game coming up for State on Tuesday with Tennessee. Tennessee is such a Jekyll and Hyde team. They are so bad on the road.
They're really good at home.
But at home, they're really good. And then that's where this game is going to be played in Knoxville.
I would take State in this game if it was at home, but
absolutely. Tennessee's not good. They're just not good on the road for whatever reason.
And I don't think they don't have the offensive. I mean, obviously you lost Dalton Connect. That's a huge loss for them. They haven't been able to replicate that.
Yeah.
But they're still very talented and they're very good at home.
Yeah. Let's move into the rest of the show. That's brought to you by our friends over at Two Brothers Smoked Meats in the heart of the Cotton District. Man, you and I had dinner in the Cotton District on Saturday, early dinner, I guess we'll call it. And it was great to see all of those businesses just packed. And Two Brothers among them, people out on the balcony. Even it's cold outside and people are still hanging out outside and enjoying themselves. And I love to see that. Two Brothers Smoked Meats and the older brother, two great places right there. In the Cotton District is just growing by leaps and bounds. It's just going to continue to get bigger with these additions that are coming very soon. And Two Brothers is sort of the hub at this point, right? That's the hub of the Cotton District. And I love to go eat there. Going to definitely go out there this week. I haven't been in a couple weeks now. You will find me at Two Brothers sometime this week enjoying some smoked Southern soul food. Great products, great service. Every business likes to promise it to you. They deliver it to you at Advantage Business Systems. That's what they've been doing for 50 years.
50.
Like Brian Johnson from AC/DC got into that one a little bit. I like that, though. When you need technology for your business, give Advantage Business Systems a call. And then if you need service, it's the same number. It's the same people. It's not, we're going to put you on hold for 45 minutes, and then a week from now somebody will show up and maybe they'll get it fixed. No, it's the same people. You have that relationship. You know who to call. Makes it a lot easier for you. Give them a call today. If something's gone wrong with your copier or your printer, give them a call today. 601-362-9192. Visit them online, absms.com. Find out how Advantage Business Systems will help your business do business. Before you go to the games this winter, and it's definitely winter outside, getting close to baseball. Whenever you're in Starkville, when you need Mississippi State gear, the place to go is Maroon & Co. I thought the stripe out was really good.
It was solid.
I thought it was good, and I think
I was a little concerned.
If MSU's not going to provide the shirts, provide one for yourself. Go over to Maroon & Co. and grab you whatever color. This next home game on next week against Alabama, it's a blackout. So you need to head to Maroon & Co. if you get a chance and grab yourself a new black MSU pullover, polo, whatever it is. And use our promo code to save some money. Thunder15, 15% off all regular price items. Some exclusions do apply. Got this polo here. See this? This Maroon & Co.
That's right.
Whenever I gotta zip back up. It's cold in here. Before you go to the game, make sure you go to Maroon & Co. All right. Why am I wearing a State polo? I was at the Humphrey Coliseum on Sunday. Decided to play dad and fan for a day and took my youngest to see Mississippi State play. First, I'll give a big shout out to Charlie Winfield. I was like, hey, I know you get tickets every now and then. Do you have any for this game? He's like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Center court, row 3 in the club level. Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate that, man. You're a good man.
Did you get you some snacks?
I did. I had cheeseburger.
Ooh.
And then I got a couple. I had a snickerdoodle cookie.
So is it like free food and drinks up there?
Well, the alcohol you have to pay for. If you wanted want to drink,
Yeah.
that's going to cost you. But if you just want to, like me, just want a Coke Zero, they got a fountain machine.
Oh man.
And then they had like 4 stations, right? They had one that was like chicken pot pie and mashed potatoes and some vegetables. So if you wanted like a meal, you could do that. Then they had a hamburger bar with like full of burgers and all the toppings. That's what I got. Then they had a salad bar and they had a dessert bar.
Okay.
And so they have that, and then they have a full bar if you want to get some cocktails, and then they have the fountain drinks, and that's what my daughter and I enjoyed.
Very good.
Very great to see spend some family time with the daughter. She likes to go to these games. Not a great result for Mississippi State, and it came down to one. We can get the box score up and look at one thing and circle it. It's turnovers. State did everything enough to win this game by double digits, but they gave Ole Miss so many extra possessions. 23 turnovers turned into how many points?
26.
26 Rebel points. Give full credit to Madison Scott. What a player she is. I think she hit it up with 30. Am I right? And
she really wanted to beat State.
You could tell she was into the game and she was hitting shots. State made plenty of shots, shot the ball pretty well, but when you give the ball away that many times, that's just inexcusable. So many unnecessary passes of players rolling to the basket. Look like they're going to go up for a shot. They try for a no look. The other player's not, participating. And something else, and you could talk me through it because I know you cover this team a lot more than I do. With Okot, I'm not saying she's Tierra McCowan, right? But she has a size advantage over almost everybody she played. But State struggles to get the ball to her in the low post.
She just kind of disappeared. She had 6 points.
She was good early.
I think she had 6 points and 10 rebounds in the first quarter.
Yeah.
She finished with 8 points and 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
I don't understand how she's used. I don't think that. I mean, she played 28 minutes. I guess she played a good bit.
Yeah.
But it's just, I know you haven't watched this team as much this year.
Right.
But this has been a problem for them. And it's been a problem for them the last 3 years. They just turn the ball over a lot. And they're, I think they try to do too much. I don't think they're lazy or anything like that. I think they're trying to do too much. I think that's the big issue. They're trying to make, as Sam Purcell calls it, the home run pass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's sloppy passing. It's not conducive for success. And early on in the game, first like 6-7 possessions, really protected the ball. I thought they played pretty precise on the offensive end. They were getting efficient possessions. They jumped out to a 14-2 lead. Mm-hmm. This is what they've done. They've had great starts in these games,
right?
And they'll get punched in the mouth, and it's tough for them to get it under control and until a team catches up, and then they get back into their consistency.
Yeah. What does this team lack, in your opinion? If you could, people ask us all the time on the rumblings, like if you could add so and so. Saying Vivians or McCowan is too easy, right? What is the role player that this team lacks?
I think it's a point guard, a true, and it's like
if I could give this team Jasmine Holmes.
Oh yeah, Jasmine Holmes playing the point and being out front defensively. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd be pretty good. They're very loose with the basketball, and it's coming from
3 turnovers. Yeah.
It's coming from their guards most of the time, the wings. Mm-hmm. Anaya Russell had 7 turnovers. She had 15 points, shot the ball well, rebounded it well. She plays really hard, and this has obviously been the best year of her career, whether it be at South Carolina or Kentucky. I think Sam has allowed her to play more her style of game. With that comes a little more eccentric play. She's going to try to – she's an excellent passer. I don't know if you've ever really watched her, but she's made some absolutely phenomenal passes. And then she'll make some passes that get intercepted or they bounce up off of somebody's leg. Or
just some passes today that, like, you can see as the ball's leaving State's players' hands that the Ole Miss player is already in position to make the interception, and yet they still pass the basketball.
Yeah, you had 13 turnovers out of your 23 came from your 3 starting guards, Denham DeShields, Jacayla Jordan, and Anaya Russell. And then to your point about Okot, when she would turn around and face up the defender and try to dribble to the rim, she was turning it over. She had 4 turnovers. So it's just, this is the team, right? This is what they are. I don't think it's going to get fixed. You are now 20 games into the season. It's just not. It's not getting better. This was the worst you've been. 23 turnovers, and I think they had 9 in the fourth quarter. They had 6 in the final 5.5 minutes.
Well, it was tied at 61, and then State had 6 turnovers from that point
in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's how you lose the ball game.
10-2 run to end the game.
Yeah.
So it's rough. And Ole Miss in the half court sets, they weren't special. They were 2 for 13 from 3. So State completely. They're not a 3-point shooting team anyway, but State made sure that they didn't beat them on the outside. But what they were doing is dribble drive or down screens or something to get to the rim, and they were finishing at the rim.
The other thing that caught me, maybe scratch my head, is State went to a zone.
Yeah,
which is designed to keep people out of the paint, and yet Ole Miss was still able to consistently get to the
rim
and get easy shot. I was flabbergasted by that.
They scored 42 points in the paint.
Yeah.
42 out of 71.
Against the zone for a lot of that.
Yeah, and the 11 more from the free throw line, that's getting to the rim and getting fast.
Yes.
So, I give them 53 points in the paint is what I would give them if you count those free throws out of 71 points. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, Ole Miss, they're a good team too. They were 15.
Teams will be bubble teams, I think.
They should firmly get in, I think.
You think? Okay.
Yeah. I think they're going to firmly get in. They're 15th in the net. I don't know where they are after that win, but this would have been a quad 1 win for Mississippi State. This would have been a big win for them, and just couldn't do it. Now you're 1-4. In the last 3 years, you were 15-1 prior to that against Ole Miss. Yeah. Now you're 1-4.
Yeah.
So fans are not happy. Yeah. I get it. Fans are upset because State dominated Ole Miss for so long, but it's a different era. You don't have Vic Schaefer anymore, and Ole Miss is a respectable program again.
Yeah,
I think that they've shown that they haven't busted through the ceiling yet over there. They've kind of hit the top of the building a few times. They haven't gotten a chance to host at home,
right,
in the tournament. State did that 4 or 5 years in a row.
Right.
They've been to one Sweet 16, so they've just kind of been a good SEC team, top 5, top 6 the last few years. So they've gotten respectable. They've gotten more consistent. Mississippi State's kind of fluctuating a little bit here.
Yeah.
They'll get a big win. They'll get a top 10 win, and then they'll drop games they should win. Look at this quarter by quarter breakdown. State 20-19 in the first,
and that quarter ended on a 9-2 Ole Miss run. It was 18-8.
It was 18-8. State scored 9 points in the second quarter, outscored 15-9. They scored 22 in the third, and it kind of felt like maybe it was shifting like it did last year. They closed the third quarter strong last year here. And got into the fourth quarter and just clamped down defensively.
It was the other way around, though.
And then they scored 12 points in the fourth quarter. It's so up and down. You don't know what to expect. The consistency is just not there.
State this week, or next 2 games, I should say, Auburn and then at Missouri. Can they win those 2 games?
2 worst teams in the league.
So they should win those 2 games.
Have to win them.
Okay.
You have to win them.
And then
you win those, you're back at 500 in the league. You're in a good spot.
And then it's trip to LSU, who hasn't lost this year. So
yeah, you can't lose either one of these games. Coming up. You have to win those 2. You win those 2, you're back on track for the tournament. And I think 7 conference wins gets you in.
Okay.
And that's totally manageable, but they have to go do it. Last year they had it all in front of them and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
This team's got to buckle down and do it.
All right. Tomorrow's show, we'll talk some more hoops. We'll get ready for the Mississippi State-Tennessee game. We will also probably talk some football, maybe some recruiting news, some portal visitors here this weekend. And anything else, we'll figure it out and we'll get you there. Guys, have a great Monday. Try to stay warm. Talk to you again on Tuesday. Try to stay warm on Tuesday, too. For Robbie Faulk, I'm Brian Hadad. Thanks for listening to Thunder Lightning here on Super Talk, Mississippi.